coffee industry in Riyadh. It's one of the largest growing markets in the capital, as about one cafe opens in the city every 2 weeks. The rate of coffee consumption in the region has never been this high, and it seems like this demand will only increase in the upcoming years. But why has this market seen this seemingly sudden interest in the eyes of the public? To answer this question, we should take into consideration the valued tradition of the people of Riyadh. Coffee has its deep roots in the traditional side of Riyadh, and traditional Arabic coffee has always been a prevalent scene in the culture, as you can find the della, or at least a modern form of the della, in any social event, which rings true even 100 years ago. This familiarity with the coffee and the culture might have later on aided in the establishment of cafe chains and specialty coffees in the region. As in Riyadh, drinking coffee is seen as more of a social activity rather than a simple action of consumption. More and more Saudis are getting into this industry as professionals. As a result of courses and training programs, Rima is one of these trained baristas. She took part as one of the judges in the first Saudi barista competition.
I'm Rima Al, I'm a coffee lover at heart. I'm very passionate about coffee. Ever since I was a teenager, I always liked to drink coffee, whether it's made at home or from a cafe.
The introduction of cafe chains in Riyadh paved the way for specialty cafes by creating an audience for Western coffee. Dunkin' Donuts first opened its doors in Saudi Arabia in 1986 as one of the first cafe chains in the region. Starbucks entered the Saudi market in the year 2000. Since then, 145 stores have opened throughout the country. It's not difficult to find these cafe chains in Riyadh, as they are found inside shopping malls, drive-thrus, hospitals, and inside educational institutions.
I would say people are more willing to pay more for good quality coffee, whereas 2 years ago when the specialty coffee scene was just getting started in Saudi, people would nod their head and they don't want to pay this much amount of money. And also everyone can agree that the number of new cafe opening up is really increasing. You can see there's a study that said in Riyadh every 2 weeks a new coffee shop opens up. So that's a lot of coffee in a short period of time.
Here, a difference in preference between the younger and the older generation is noticeable, as the younger generation leans towards flavored coffee and additives such as milk and syrups, whereas the older generation are still loyal to the old style of coffee, like Turkish coffee and espressos.
I would say right now people are recognizing that Saudis have the power and the skills to give a great coffee experience, an excellent experience, and they can compete. These coffees that are produced or roasted locally actually can compete with global coffee roasters. We as Arabs, culturally, we love coffee, so coffee is not a new thing to us, but especially coffee added a new flavor or a new perspective to the overall coffee scene.
This shift in perspective helped solidify coffee making as more of an art form, a field that people can compete in, much like the very first barista competition.
It was my first time judging. I was selected as a sensory judge, which is very exciting because you get to taste the coffee that the competitors make. And these competitors take months to prepare the recipe, and they practice for a month. They have to do a presentation, they have to come up with their own signature drink, and it has to be consistent. And most of the time it's top quality coffee with top quality operation.
Despite all of the passion that goes into this field, specialty coffee is still a relatively new scene in the region.
Right now, locally, there is support for introductory and intermediate courses in the barista category. But if you want to know more about sensory or about roasting or green coffee, sometimes these courses only happen once or twice a year. So right now it's okay, but I would see it improving in the future as the community and the people here, they really want to learn more.
It seems like despite all the progress this industry has made in recent years, it still has a long way to go. A lot of passion is being put into this industry, from both the hardworking baristas and the customers who are looking to support local businesses. It seems like this industry will only continue to grow from this point on.